Now, I know there's already been tons of questions on this topic all over the internet. However, I will be giving you my thoughts on the three golden eras of Cartoon Network from 1992 to 2006. When I was searching on the internet, I couldn't find a topic like this already created. So anyways, which Cartoon Network era did you prefer? The checkerboard era, the powerhouse era, or the city era? I'm just going to review my opinion on these three fan favorites here. Let's begin, starting with the checkerboard era from 1992 to 1997. Since I was born in 1992, I don't really have much memory of this era. So this is just going to be according to my research. So at the time, Cartoon Network was a brand new channel, the first 24-hour cartoon channel in TV history, and there were mostly just Hanna-Barbera and MGM reruns, and then barely anything else until the cartoon show adapted itself in 1995, which brought out original programming to the network. There was also an action block called Power Zone, which was like the predecessor to Toonami. I respect this era a lot for setting up Cartoon Network for the greatness that was about to come. The Powerhouse era from 1997 to 2004. Cartoon Network was in its true prime during this era and had full mixtures of blocks, such as classics, originals, anime, acquisitions, and shorts that appealed to a huge audience of all ages. Cartoon Fridays, Primetime, Toonami, Boomerang, Saturday Video Entertainment System, and cartoon theaters, etc. This is my all-time favorite era for Cartoon Network. It's the era that I remembered the most getting me into Cartoon Network, and I thought during this time Cartoon Network had the most variety of cartoons to choose from. In this era, we had cartoons like Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, The Powerpuff Girls, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Codename Kids Next Door, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Sheep and the Big City, and Time Squad, etc. We also had an anime block called Toonami, which aired on weekday afternoons, and this block was my first introduction to anime. We had shows like Dragon Ball Z, G Gundam, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Zoids. You also had a Saturday night block called Saturday Video Entertainment System, which didn't last long but had a great variety of action cartoons, such as Justice League, the 2002 He-Man show, Jackie Chan Adventures, Samurai Jack, and X-Men Evolution, etc. Primetime, the jazzy music was awesome, and I loved the bumpers too. This era was so amazing, seeing all your random favorite cartoons with classics like Tom and Jerry, new Scooby-Doo movies, and a pup named Scooby-Doo. You'd never know what would be coming next. We also had Cartoon Fridays, which would be the block that would air all the new episodes of the cartoons, and I also loved how Cartoon Network had all of their cartoon characters interact with each other.
I could be the pool guy. You've got a pool here, right?
Are yourself handsome? Hey, baby. Hey, baby. I'm Larry 3000. And I don't feel so well.
Don't be cruel now.
Just awesome. I loved how after the Friday nights of Cartoon Fridays, on Saturdays, you would watch your favorite movies on cartoon theaters. We would have movies like Balto, The Land Before Time, and the Scooby-Doo movies like Scooby-Doo on a Zombie Island, and many Looney Tunes shorts as well. In between commercials, you had crossover parodies with the cartoons interacting with each other. This era had a large library of original programming, acquisitions, action shows, anime, and classics to choose from on this one channel. This was by far, hands down, the golden age for Cartoon Network, and I will debate that with anybody. The City era from 2004 to 2006. Some fans thought it was the downfall for Cartoon Network, but I strongly disagree with that. Cartoon Network's downfall began in 2007, but that's a topic for another video. To some fans, this was the downfall for Cartoon Network, but to many fans out there, this was the greatest era for Cartoon Network, and I can definitely see why. This is my second favorite era for Cartoon Network, but it comes very, very close to the Powerhouse era. This was a perfect transition after the Powerhouse ended and couldn't have come at a better time. Sure, there were many changes that I didn't like, but there was still a lot of great variety cartoons to choose from on the network. The summer, known as the summer of 2005, came from this era. The most original programming in Cartoon Network's history aired all at once in this era, and many accusations as well. The cartoon characters interacting in a big city is what this era was loved for the most, and was something no other channel came up with. And I must say, these were the best bumpers Cartoon Network ever had, period. These bumpers made Cartoon Network more watchable than any other kids' network around that time. I know these bumpers were probably expensive to make, but I wish that Cartoon Network could do something like this today. And there was also a change with the logo. Some complained about it and thought that Cartoon Network was trying to be too hip, but I didn't mind it too much. We also had Maguzi, which was the block that replaced Toonami on the weekday afternoons. Maguzi featured shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 cartoon, Code Lyoko, Megas XLR, Static Shock, Totally Spies, and the Teen Titans from time to time as separate shows or the Top 5 block. Ed, Edd and Eddy, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Codename Kids Next Door, and the Powerpuff Girls were still around regularly. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Camp Lazlo, and Ben 10 were really good. Teen Titans, Justice League Unlimited, and Duck Dodgers were epic shows. My problem with the City era was that it was too short for only 2 years. That still cringes me to this day. Plus, some classics were taken off of the air and could only be seen on Boom. Some of the original shows from this era weren't as good as the ones that debuted on the Powerhouse era, and there were some forgotten shows. Plus, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Maguzi replacing Toonami on the weekday afternoons, and Toonami only being switched to Saturdays, but that didn't bother me too much. So enough with all the negative stuff. The good outweighs the bad, and I thought that Tom and Tara and the sketches were pretty cool on Fridays. Overall, Cartoon Network's City era was a damn great era, and if this is regarded as the best era for Cartoon Network, then I'm not gonna argue with that. Well guys, that's it for my video. Let me know what your favorite era was for Cartoon Network, and I'll see you next time. Peace.